Here we have Rodney Grant from Pinelands Creative Workshop. Rodney, you've been doing some work in the region recently, Barbados and the OECS workshop for women, for the empowerment of women. Can you elaborate a little bit on this?
Well, basically, we started the project last year, November 2011, and we started with the basis of not knowing what it is that women wanted to do. So we established some think tanks in 3 countries, Dominica, Grenada, and Barbados, to try to capture what were some of the ideas, what were some of the things that women were presently doing in these 3 countries, and then what were some of the businesses that they can go into, that were possible for them to go into, and what we were calling some of the emerging markets. So we were looking at certain sectors like ICT and services, agro industries, cultural industries, energy and the environment. So we were trying to capture what were some of the ideas that they can come up as these new areas emerge as new economic drivers going into the future. We came up with some very innovative ideas out of the 3 think tanks, and then we were able to move then to the second phase, where we actually did training this year to try to move some of those ideas to the next level in terms of developing them into business plans. Pretty much what we were looking for in terms of the ideas in the business planning were to get businesses that were export driven, that had export potential, that had growth potential, particularly, and how we could then manifest this in a phase 3. So actually what we are working on now, after the conclusion of the business plan training, is how we can work with the various export agencies in the countries and on a regional level to type of help some of these businesses to get their products and their ideas in terms of regional level. Because if you understand the Caribbean well, the consumer base is a very small consumer base at the national level in each country. Dominica has about 70,000 people. Grenada has about 110,000. Barbados got about 260. So the Caribbean on its whole is a very small consumer base at the national level. Cumulatively, we have a wider market base. This is why the Caribbean single market is so important to us. Globally, we have the world to work with in terms of exporting our products. Now, we have to be able to work with these women if we are talking about working with the project within the context of poverty reduction, to be able to move the concept of from micro to small to larger businesses. So the idea is to have these businesses grow to the point where they become large entities. The only way we can do that is to market them on a global level or on a regional level, where they have stronger consumer support and it increases their profit margins. So this is really where we're looking at in terms of a long-term process and a long-term strategy. So we are now in the process, specifically in Dominica, we are working with Dexia. Dexia have come on board in terms of how we can develop some of these export strategies for some of these businesses. We know they're already working with the Taloma Group in terms of getting their products out into the markets. We want to be able to help them, to help the Taloma Group expand beyond what they're presently doing in terms of marketing and working with the hospitals to a broader market. We have CARICOM as a starting base, and we have to be able to get them into the other old senior citizens' homes and the hospitals in the region. In terms of what Africa is doing, her products are products that have global appeal and global reach. We're talking about greening economies now. She's producing products which is utilizing this concept in terms of going back to the environment, using the indigenous products of the countries. And if we're talking about developing green businesses, she's hitting it right on the head. So in terms of facilitating her entry for her products into global markets, like hotels that use soaps on an everyday basis with clients, even hospitals,
soap
shampoos and body care products. So these are things that people use every day. So it's how can we get these things in the markets, and the same goes for all the other businesses that we will be working on in the 3 countries. How can we get them to larger markets? Actually, we've been doing some negotiations with Propel. Propel is a project that emerged out of CEDA in terms of reaching high quality markets. The only thing with Propel is that it focuses on those which are agro-based. So Africa may benefit, Lucille may benefit in terms of the Toloma, but there may be others in terms of the ICT and services which may not benefit. But still, it adds considerable value to the project in terms of what we are doing and what we are hoping to do.